Fine. I know. Okay, so okay. Purcell with Hey everybody, it's Jackie Purcell with Picture Alaska, and thank you for joining us. Yes, we are winding down the month of January, and soon we'll be coming up on February. So it does go by quicker, it seems like, when we start gaining daylight, and indeed we have. Some of the challenges, however, have been some of the winter conditions that we have seen, and some would loosely call it winter because it has been either warm or not enough snow, at least here in the south central area. Anchorage has seen kind of a lack of snow, but there's plenty of snow in other parts of the state. They have seen blizzard conditions at times with snow blowing around. So, but we do have some weather pictures to share with you this week, so we'll get to that because of course, we want to thank everyone who sends in those photos as well as videos. And I'll show you toward the end where you can always do that. Here's a look at the satellite and radar imagery that we have just from the last several hours. And what we're going to be seeing is, of course, big storms, one over the Aleutians, but cold air entrenched over much of mainland Alaska. There's still some blizzard warnings stretched across southwest Alaska to the Alaska Peninsula and even into south central Alaska. So we'll leave that to our weathercast here as we get into the evening hours. But let's get to our photos. Cova and Cranberry. And if you say, hey, that's a strange way to spell cranberry, but get it? Cranberry. And they are at the Alaska Zoo. John Gomes frequently taking pictures out at the Alaska Zoo. So thank you so much, John, for sending that in. And, you know, polar bears playing with their toys. You can't beat that for the cute factor, as long as you're a safe distance and a safe barrier away. But you know what? And also, polar bears, they're feeling the squeeze from climate change and finding themselves having a harder and harder time. They like to live on the ice, but when there's diminishing ice, you know that they're going to be suffering as a result. So whatever you can do in your own life to helpfully limit some of those impacts from climate change is probably a good idea. Well, let's get to another photo. This is a Knik Arm viewing spot. Floyd Unger, thank you for sending that in. And this kind of illustrates a bit the little snow that we have, and still it looks wintry and nice to take a walk nonetheless, whether you have a lot of snow. But if it's icy, make sure that you're having some spikes with you or you're staying safe. This was when we had that unusually warm stretch of weather. It's called it meltdown fishing. Sherry Miller sending that in. He just looks so resigned, and I would be shocked if he actually caught something out there. And after a storm, a lot of times it's always nice to see a rainbow, and indeed that is what we were seeing. Thank you to Samantha Dutcher. But also notice in this picture again the lack of snow. This was after those warm storms and the rain that caused some of those very, very icy roads, and that is indeed what it looks like there on that stretch. So a lot of folks having to get on those roads at times, but just take it slow and easy. And a lot of times when city officials or even borough officials, state officials ask you to stay home, that's probably a good idea. Even us sometimes say, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. And then we're going to move to a situation that, wow, it just changes dramatically to warm to now Petersville snow. They had like 3 feet of snow. And Jeff and Melissa Timberlake sending this in. And thank you for sharing that. But I do know that they had to get a snowplow into the Petersville area just to get some of these people that had been stranded there that had been recreating over the weekend. So, hey, I guess they got an extra day to play in the snow. But that's not all that's going on. When we have these storms and they do blow through, we'll oftentimes get a little bit of a break on the backside of those storms. So this is a beautiful shot from the Kenai area looking across the inlet. Look at the waves though, they still are up. You can't really see the wind in these photos, but yeah, you can definitely see that it is stormy out there in the inlet, but the sky beyond looks beautiful with the setting sun highlighting the bottom of those clouds. Another shot out of the Kenai area, sunset and volcano from Joe Mato. So thank you so much for sending that in. And getting to Palmer, this looks just, it's alliteration. Pink sky, picnic tables, Palmer. Thank you to April. I want to say your name, April. April K, for sending that in. And April, feel free to email me at jpurcell at alaskasnewssource.com and tell me, how do you pronounce that name? So, pink sky, picnic tables, and Palmer. And it looks like they got a little dusting of snow out there as well. And then we go to the Port of Anchorage, and it was beautiful. Yes, you can see some of that sunset in the distance, but a couple of, looks like tugs, I believe, there. Trent Foldiger, thank you so much for sending that in. And then we're going to go straight back into interior Alaska, where Karen Alden has sent in this winter cabin sunset. Looks like you got a nice high vantage point to get a look at that sunset, some of those hills in between. And thank you so much for sending that in. Now let's get to what we're also seeing from other parts of the state, not just from the interior, but we're going to kind of leave it here with reading, some sunshine, and Russian Mission. Thank you to Sharon Kozevenikoff for sending that in. And I think she said that's Rayleigh for, and I don't know if anybody can really notice this, but what is she reading? Molly of Denali. Yes, so that is quite a timely reading, wouldn't you say, considering the flurry of activity we've had over the naming of the great one. So thank you to Sharon, and hey, keep on reading, kids and adults out there. Whatever you do, doesn't matter, just reading is important. Here's a look at how you can send in your photos and videos. We always love to see them, to share them on TV, but if we don't have a chance to share them on TV, that's why we like Picture Alaska. So you can go to that homepage at alaskasnewssource.com, and you'll go over toward the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see that Submit Photos and Videos. That's where you're going to click. That's where you're going to be able to upload some of those photos. So it will be very appreciated if you do that with us. So again, thank you so much for joining us on Picture Alaska. Keep sending those photos and videos in, and stay safe out there.